Hello everybody, this is Hammer Striker here. Today I've got the Springfield Armory Garrison 1911 chambered in 9mm. Please don't forget to check out our website. Go to our affiliates page. You'll find discount codes for things like Mantis Axe and Core belts. Link to that cool little bore light that we use for lighting up the barrels. Use those links. It will often save you money, never will cost you any additional money, and helps the channel. Thank you. Springfield Armory sent this to us as they continue to expand their 1911 lineup. They're one of the few companies that is actively, seems to be aggressively expanding their 1911s. This Garrison series is currently available in 45. By the time you see this video, this will be available, and it's a 9mm. It's got a 5-inch barrel, so it's a full-size 1911. And additionally, it's steel, all steel. So it's a steel frame, forged steel slide. So it's a solid, robust 38-ounce 1911. Very comfortable to shoot. When you have a gun like this in a caliber like 9mm, which has limited recoil to begin with, they're just wonderful to shoot at the range. Typical of a 1911, has a very short crisp. So that's all of the take-up. That is the entire travel, and it breaks. So a super, super short, crisp 1911 trigger. It's one of the things about a 1911 that makes it such a pleasure is that they generally have awesome triggers. When you also get to feel the machine operating, it's a very mechanical device. When you're shooting something like a Glock or any of the others, as good as they are, they're kind of clinical. They just kind of do the job and they get it over with. This, you feel the slide operate, you feel the machine operate in your hands. It's really a very pleasant experience. This particular one is actually blued. So this is a true hot salt bluing process. It's also available in a stainless steel frame and slide. And I like the look of classic bluing, the regular hot salt bluing. It looks nice. Some of the newer finishes, the NDLC and some of the other anodization processes may make harder finishes, more robust finishes. But something about the look of a blued gun is just kind of beyond everything else. It has kind of a matte finish on the top, so to cut down glare. And you can see the stainless steel barrel there. It has 3-dot sights, and both the front and rear are dovetailed so that you can swap them out if you choose. However, they're actually quite nice sights, really easy to see. So I'm not going to be inclined to do anything changing the sights. Like a classic 1911, there are no Picatinny rails. It does have a skeletonized hammer and a skeletonized trigger. And it's 8.6 inches long and 5.5 inches tall, and the magazines fit very flush. Now the nice thing about this, these are nice solid steel magazines. It's compatible with all the other same size grip 1911s from Springfield Armory. So I've got a couple 9mm 1911s from them, and I used their magazines interchangeably in this one, and it ran flawlessly. It does come with one magazine, but because, even though this is a new gun, a new expansion of the line, because of its magazine capabilities or compatibility with these 9-round 9mm magazines, you're going to be able to get mags for it day one, because they're already out there for the other guns. It has these thin line wood grips, so the grip panels are relatively thin, texturing at the back, and it is smooth on the front, and then it's got a very nice texturing on the grip panels themselves. Being in 1911, you could swap these grip panels out with either thicker ones or different ones if you like, but the combination that they ship it with is really nice looking, and it's just the right size to fit comfortably in the hand and operate well. This did run flawlessly at the range, but this is kind of a higher precision gun. The tolerances on this are quite tight. That didn't result in any malfunctions whatsoever, but it actually should improve mechanical accuracy. One of the things about a 1911, when you go with the tighter tolerances, you can really get some pretty serious mechanical accuracy. I found this easy to pull nice tight groups with. But it is a little more precise when you go to take it apart. So normally I take guns apart, and I'm going to have this one apart, but I'm actually going to take it apart off screen because I don't want to scratch this thing up, and take it apart and put it back together. And put in the comments if you actually want to see a video on taking apart in detail a 1911, I can do that. But for today, when I go to show you the internals, I'll take it apart, show you the internals, then I'll put it back together again. because I need to focus on it when I'm doing it. I don't want to scratch up any of this nice bluing that's on this. A few of the other views of the gun is the muzzle. It's got a very flat muzzle, really nice, well machined. Everything up there. The barrel bushing is really tight. You can see there's no slop whatsoever in that barrel. And on the other side, the safety is only on one side, which is less friendly to being ambidextrous, but at the same time, a lot of times ambi-safeties on 1911s tend to bite into the offhand. So if you're right-handed, this gun is going to be very friendly to you. If you're left-handed, not quite so friendly, but the safety is relatively large. So if you did have it with your left hand, you'd have to come back, kind of curl back to operate it, but you can get to it. And the safety does work quite well. So I'll go ahead and cock it so I can operate the safety. It operates quite smoothly, but very distinctly. So it's on and it's going to stay on till I turn it off, and then it'll stay off. There's no slop in it whatsoever. Nice solid detent, but it's smooth and easy to do. A lot of times I'll find that a thumb safety works great in one direction. For example, it's easy to turn off, but kind of a hassle to turn on, or vice versa. This one, both directions, just works flawlessly and smoothly. So it is well executed. All the machining is just top notch on this. But again, quite tight tolerances. So I'm going to go ahead and take it apart, and then I'll resume with it apart so I can show you the internals. So I got it all apart, all of the different components. So we'll start out with the simple things. It's a GI guide rod setup. And the spring is tapered at one end to fit tightly on the guide rod. The other end would fit loosely, so you need to put the spring in the right way. And this is kind of nice. When you have these GI guide rods, one of the things that has a tendency to happen as you're trying to put it together is they get separated, and then you can't get the spring back on because it's flopping around inside the machine. So that's a nice feature to make it easier to reassemble. Of course, once it's reassembled, either style spring would work fine because there's spring tension, and of course the spring is compressed. Very well machined stainless steel. It's just done well on this, from the barrel bushing that's here in my hand down to all the other parts. Of course, you have the spring cap here, a little bit of texture on it. And then the slide stop, slide release / takedown lever. Let's move to the frame. I'm going to put the safety on because I don't want to accidentally pull the trigger and have the hammer come forward and slam into the frame. But really nice, robust, full-length guide rods. Or rails, I'm sorry, get rails on both sides. And relatively simple fire control group. The fire control group on a 1911, there's not a whole lot going on in here. And when I move to the slide, you'll notice there is no drop safety piston, so this is a 70 series style design. And everything in here is just well machined, meticulously well machined, which Springfield Armory does an excellent job on their machining. They do it right. When you get one of their 1911s, as you pay $900 plus for it, you're actually getting a very, very nice, well done gun. You get your money's worth with these Springfield Armories. To some extent, this is starting to border on the tolerances that you might get in a custom gun at a price that's more of a retail price. Now, I don't have an MSRP on this one at the moment, but the 45 that's already out there and available is $849 for the blued and $899 for the stainless steel. So I would imagine this will be similar. So you're talking a sub $1,000, most likely, high precision 1911. That's not a very common thing. A lot of 1911s in that territory are basically GI specs and not overly well done. So now let's go to the barrel, which is very well machined, nice feed ramp. There's a little bit of oil on it. Otherwise, it's actually a quite well done feed ramp. And let me light up the barrel. Nicely machined rifling. I really like this gun. It's nice to have a truly nice 1911. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back together and then wrap up. I've got it all back together, and kind of a note, the design of a 1911 in general, there's lots of ways to scratch the 1911 up while you're taking it apart and putting it back together. When you go to a tight tolerance gun, it amplifies that. So you really want to be careful when you're assembling and disassembling any 1911 if you want it to continue to look nice. Unlike a Glock or an XDM or a Walther, you could almost put the thing, a towel on top of the thing, put it together without seeing it, and chances are pretty good you're not going to scratch or break anything. It's not true of a 1911. A couple of other things I kind of forgot to mention. It's got a little hump on the grip safety to make sure that you depress it. In general, I found on other guns that bites into my hand. That wasn't true on this one. It was quite comfortable. It recesses sufficiently that it's nearly flush with the back strap. So it did not bite into my hand at all. It was actually quite comfortable. And you'll notice that it's got an extended beaver tail. It comes way out. It would be very difficult, even if you have huge hands, to get slide bit by this, which is nice. Some of the shorter beaver tail 1911s, it's possible to get slide bit, and that's not a lot of fun at all. So overall, it was a pleasure to shoot this thing at the range, and I thank Springfield Armory for sending it to us. It's going to spend a lot of time at the range. I enjoy shooting 1911s. If you were looking for a home defense or a carry gun and the 1911 was your thing, this would have the quality and reliability that you'd look for that. But for me, 1911s are a range day when I want to go out and just really enjoy myself. And 9mm in a 1911 is just so much fun to shoot and so easy to shoot and fun to do all day without beating you up. So beyond that, really nice 1911. If you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, click that bell to be notified if you do. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much everywhere, even Getter. Thank you.